Hey, safe to say I'm the biggest, the largest. Been stepping up since my mama stayed in them apartments. Regardless, my daddy told me keep the heat even when I'm in foreigns. I'm heartless, cause he's hating on me just because I'm the biggest, the largest, the biggest, the largest. 30K on my riches for hard times.
Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome back into the ASF Hoops on the All Sports Focus Network. Today, we got me, Sean Filson, and my boy, Troy. What is up, bro? How are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Hey, I'm good. Started off the year. Got a Thunder game tonight. I know we're both excited.
Huge.
Yeah, gotta stay on this win streak that we're back on since playing the Spurs. You know, they just got our number for now. You know, hopefully we can figure it out.
Like everyone's been saying though, it's gonna be one of the great rivalries for next few years, especially with our young team and Victor being the whole Spurs roster is actually pretty young considering. So should be pretty good.
Yeah, we play them one more time this season, and then we'll see in the postseason if we match up with them. But what we got to talk about, it's been the main thing that's been all over Twitter, X, whatever y'all call it. I'm sure it's been on any of those other sites that y'all use to keep up with your sports. But with Jokic going down recently, he's going to be set to miss about 4-ish weeks. And with him being a little older, we say old, but he's like 30 for athlete. Might be longer than that, but we got to talk about the 65 game rule. You know, it's the rule where players have to play 65 games to be eligible for postseason awards. So anything like MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, All NBA, All Defense, Rookie of the Year, all those kind of things. What are your thoughts on that? Like, we have a lot of players that are already over that 17 games that they can even miss, and some that are getting really close. So, what do you think? Like, what would your ideas, thoughts, whatever be on it?
First things first, I gotta say this. Availability is the best ability, and I feel like that is perfectly highlighted by this rule. I don't have a problem with it. Obviously, a lot of other people are because they're like, oh, now Jokic is going to be out of the MVP race. They're going to be like handed off to Shea for free when Shea was probably going to win it regardless because he's going to lead the Thunder to the best record in the West again. But I will say, I know a lot of people think it should just be for load management stuff. So like that really affects like a Joel Embiid or like a Kawhi Leonard type of person. But I think like it being 65 games is not crazy, dude. You're telling me you think you should be allowed to miss almost like a quarter of the season and still get like these awards just because your averages are so high? They're obviously going to be higher if you're not playing as many games. You're playing 80 games like Shea usually does. Like he kind of deserves it, even if Jokic is averaging a triple-double, but he only ended up playing 60 games. But I do obviously understand it, like, for injuries. Like, it's kind of hard to stop those from happening. But I think regardless of that, if you're not able to play the full season, well, not full season, but, like, even 65 games like the rule is, that it's kind of ridiculous that you would be in conversations for, like, all NBA and stuff like that.
Yeah. So being able to miss 17 games, that's about 20% of the season. It's probably like 19.1% if you're doing specific calculations on it, but just about a fifth of the season. So like, it's a lot of games. And you can tell like the NBA wants players to play. Like you said, it's the Kawhis, the Joel Embiids, players like that have brought it on where they're just resting just to rest. Like, I agree with that for sure. It does suck for the players that do just get injured, like the ones that like Jokic, Giannis, Wemby, like the ones that, injuries, freak accidents most of the time. Like, unless you're I won't even say, like, people can have certain play styles like Russell Westbrook. I know, probably one of our favorite players of all time. He has a very chaotic style of play, but his injuries, like, were all just freak accidents. They weren't he's running and trying to just jump over people and getting hurt. No, it was Patrick Beverley running into his knee and stuff like that, where it wasn't like it was just a freak accident. So I definitely feel bad for players like Jokic, Wemby, Giannis, those ones that are legit injuries. Like you're out for 4 weeks. I mean, that's probably getting you close, if not the 17 games that you can miss. Uh, I know Jalen Williams on the Thunder. He was All NBA third team this past year, and he's over that limit because he missed the first 18 games of the season. I didn't calculate exactly how many Wemby, Jokic, and Giannis have missed, but Wemby was at, I want to say 12 last time I looked, and now he's probably out another decent bit. Jokic, like we've mentioned a few times, he's got 4 weeks that he's going to be out. Giannis has missed at least double-digit games. But the players that I wrote down, it's easy to go to the Lakers because, you know, the NBA loves the Lakers. The fans love the Lakers. So Luka, he's missed 7 games already. LeBron's missed 16, and Austin Reeves has missed 8. Are there any of those players where you were kind of like, yeah, they should probably get All-NBA, be in the MVP talk, any of those?
Obviously, Luka Doncic is probably in my opinion, he's over Jokic right now for MVP voting, for race right now, just because his transformation from when he went over to LA was just incredible, and he's playing out of his mind when he does play. He's only missed, you said seven games, right? He's only missed 7 games, which isn't a lot, but he could, if he tacks on like a couple more like 2-game streaks where he doesn't play, he could end up not being in there. And another thing, I feel like it's gonna be weird if LeBron's not on an All NBA team. He's been in the league so long, made All NBA so many times. Like it's gonna be weird if he's not there. But I mean, he's older and if he's not playing, then can't really make it. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. 2 other players that I wrote down. Steph, he's missed 9 games. He's not playing tonight, so he'll be at least 10. And then Anthony Edwards, he's missed 7 games so far. But yeah, I do think it sucks for the players, but I mean, like you said, the biggest thing is availability is the best ability. And I think all sports, even your normal jobs, like if you're not showing up, like you're not going to be the best worker. And I think everybody can look at that in their own personal lives, stuff like that, and then just translate it to this. But with that, if Wemby doesn't get his 65 games, it's a Chet Defensive Player of the Year. I think it's pretty written in. Like Chet's gonna get it, and he did just win Defensive Player of the Month. Shea won Most Valuable Player of the Month, or the Player of the Month award.
Player of the Month.
But yeah, so and then Spurs coach, he got Coach of the Month. We almost got the sweep, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yep,
it's all right. But next thing we want to talk about is 2 or 3 of the teams that are either surging, they're going crazy, or they're falling off, faltering a little bit. Some of it was expected. Some of it, like this first team we're going to talk about, the Clippers, they were pretty booty at the beginning of the season, but currently on a 6-game win streak. Kawhi just dropped 55. No, not just trees planted, actual points in an NBA game. But yeah, like, what are you thinking about the Clippers?
I don't want them to play well, obviously.
I agree with that one.
But I think Kawhi is actually kind of starting to play Kawhi Leonard basketball again, which I do enjoy seeing Kawhi play basketball. I think he's one of the greatest players we've seen, both from a defensive standpoint and obviously an offensive standpoint. But I think the game is better when Kawhi is playing, and I think that team is kind of going up right now just because Kawhi is actually playing instead of, I need to rest. Like, go plant your trees some other time during the offseason, dude. You got plenty of time. Play basketball. You're getting paid to play basketball. You know, it's like one of those things. I hope they skid again, but if Kawhi keeps playing at the level he's playing, they might rise up to the 12th seed. stay around
Yeah.
212. I guess they're
With
the 11th,
them,
but yeah.
the thing I think is interesting with them being on this surging streak that they're on is it's been without Ivica Zubac. I mean, he was in All-Star talk last year and going into this year. I mean, he's played well, but it's pretty interesting that they were not winning barely any games with their basically whole roster healthy, besides like Bradley Beal and Derrick Jones Jr. But I mean, if they're going to be the catalyst to help you win games or not win games, you're in a bad spot. But since Zubac has been out, like the Clippers are doing great. I don't know what to think of that. If it's just like, hey, they're just playing better, like their opponents are just not playing as well. I don't know. I don't really watch their games because I
It's
gotta
the
go to sleep
Clippers. I'm
early
not watching
at this
them.
point, and their games are all at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and I'm just like, yep, y'all got it. I'll box score watch. I can't.
Mhm.
But yeah, I do think that's very interesting that probably their third best player, when he goes down, that's when they start balling out. Might be a build on the team. Like, hey, we need to play small. That's been kind of what James Harden's liked to do over his career. It's like
Mhm.
they were playing super small when Westbrook got there. They just have one center. They have one center and then all basically guards around them, all able to play defense. And so, no, maybe they found the recipe. Hopefully not, but
I think a big thing is Zubac is obviously a very traditional 5 role. He's not gonna go stretch the floor, and I
mhm,
think, I know everyone's been thinking it, they've kind of figured it out, but, like, your big needs to be able to stretch the court this day and age, and I think being able to play, like, a small ball or even have, like, Brook Lopez, who was draining threes the other night. Having a Brook
Flash
Lopez
Tower.
or yeah, something like that, it's gonna help out your game tremendously, and it's gonna make your team better. Obviously, traditional 5 is still very important. It's I hope it gets a resurgence eventually, but I don't see it happening with the way stretch 5s are being, like, signed now and stuff like that, but, yeah, I think they're just they kinda realized when he's left, like or when he got injured that stretch 5 might be the way to go now.
For sure. Next team we want to talk about, Indy. Team that was just in the finals, took the Thunder to 7 games. The only player that hasn't really played that should really matter is Halliburton. I know they've had some other injuries. TJ McConnell, Andrew Nimhard, he was out for a little while. Pascal's played every game except for one so far. They might have had some other spot injuries, but I I just feel like Halliburton, it can't have been like, hey, Halliburton is that important. Like, I mean, maybe he is, maybe I'm just completely wrong, but it it's kind of throwing me off. They're on a 10-game losing streak right now. They're bottom in the East, but it's just like it feels like a crazy fall off going from the finals to the record
Worst
that they have
worst
now.
record in the East, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, well, I will say this for Halliburton. One, his playmaking is obvious. Everyone knows about his passing, but his three-point shooting is actually, when he is playing and when he's healthy, is one of the best in the league. Which if you look at his jump shot, you wouldn't think that because what is that?
Yeah.
But
Unorthodox.
I think the Pacers are kind of realizing that you can't play through Pascal. Like it's hard for him to carry a whole team. And Toronto figured that out. That I feel like that's kind of why they traded him out of there. But yeah, I don't understand how you could be NBA Finals caliber team, bring in like the third best team all time to 7 games in the finals, and then you lose your star one, and you're the worst team in the East. Like I just it just doesn't make sense to me. I guess Halliburton might have been the greatest player of all time based off of that. But
Yeah, it's just it throws me off because I just don't think one player can be that integral to a team, especially when it wasn't seen before that. Like he had missed games, they'd been fine, but now that they go on that long run, like maybe they're just exhausted. Like I mean, they played deep into June and then probably had training camp. Like they probably only had like a month off at most. And it's like some players rehabbing, some play like I get it, but it's confusing me a little bit. Getting near the halfway mark of the season, like they're going to end up getting a top 3 pick the literal year after they make the finals. And it's not because of a trade with another team. I know you had another team you wanted to talk about if you want to bring them up.
Yeah. The Orlando Magic. I mean, they started off fantastically. Not to say they're not doing well now, but they're 19-15 right now. They just beat the Pacers. So I mean, good on them. But they've dropped a couple close games and a couple games I really didn't think they would lose. Like they just lost to the Raptors by 1, who the Raptors, Scotty Barnes is an animal. So I mean, good on them. But they lost to the Hornets by 15, like the day after Christmas. You should not be losing to the Hornets, let alone by a double-digit score margin. I'm not really sure what's going on with them. I don't know if like it's just like a little stint where they're going on right now. When Orlando Magic plays well, I like that's one of those teams like small market kind of like. Obviously, it's Orlando, but like no one really talks about them. They're one of the smaller market teams. When they're balling and when they're one of the best in the East, I love seeing that, and I hope they can get back on that winning side of basketball games, like so it can rise up with the Knicks and stuff. But yeah, just kind of struggling lately. I don't really know what's going on with them. Shout out Big Paolo Banchero, but yeah, man, I want to know what's going on with them. I mean, it's like
Yeah. I don't watch too many of their games. I was super high on them going into the season, especially after they traded for Desmond Bain.
mhm,
But it feels like I've always had this thought that like a power forward is the worst player to build around for a franchise. Because it just feels like a power forward is just that tweener between like a wing and a big, which I mean, it literally is. But it just feels like they can't be that focal point, that center of an offense. I mean, people thought it was going to be great with Zion. What did it turn out as? Nothing. Paolo, nothing. Like the way that the league is either your big needs to be your best player and it needs to literally be Jokic or we can say Embiid, but like if it's not that, then it needs to be either your guard or your wing. Like I just feel like power forward is the most useless star position. Um, it's great whenever they're your like great role player, like a Aaron Gordon, or I mean, I'm not gonna say Tatum is that. I think Tatum's just a wing. He just plays the 4. But I don't know. I just think it's a very bad star position, and that's what the Magic had built around. And as soon as they went and got or they had Franz Wagner, but as soon as they went and got Desmond Bain, I was like, they have to be expecting a ton out of Jalen
mhm.
Suggs because they don't really have that star ball handling guard. I like Bane, but I think he's more of one of those like he should be guarding your best offensive player on the other team and he's going to be able to spot up and create a little bit. But I just I haven't been super impressed with their entirety of the team, but
Mhm.
Anthony Black, bro, he's balling. I think
He is
he
hooping.
should be top 3 for most improved right now. He is hooping, and I was pretty surprised when they took him at 6 a few years ago in the draft. I was like, I don't really think his offense is there. He's pretty solid on defense, but I mean, you look at him now, he just set his career high. He's been hooping. Like, I'm impressed. But again, I think it does come down to they really just need like a really good ball handler, someone to create for their offense, not just Paolo, who's literally been a negative like every single game they've played lately.
I think
Yeah.
I will say at the one time, I feel like everyone knows that a power forward as your star has worked has been the Milwaukee Bucks, but at the same time, one Giannis is just an absolute monster on the court, and he's almost unstoppable, especially like if you give him any room to maneuver. And he's starting to a little bit develop the 3-point shot. I doubt he ever will get that good with it, but They also built around him. Like, they gave him a Drew Holiday. They gave him a Chris Middleton, who's a good spot-up shooter. They've gave him a few different centers to play with throughout the time there, and ended up working out, gave him a championship. He has a couple MVPs, but one, Paolo's just not on the level of Giannis. Let's get that straight. He's not ever going to get there, I don't think. And then two, I just don't think they built the team around Paolo to give him the same opportunities that Giannis got in Milwaukee.
Yeah. I think the thing with Paolo is he's probably going to be a pretty good number 2. Like, he could probably be like, if he goes somewhere or someone comes there where it's like, I don't know, like a Jaylen Brown or like a Devin, if he played with like a Devin Booker or I don't know, something like a guard that could handle the rock, I think he could be like an amazing number 2. But him as a number 1 and then having another like 2A, 2B, I just don't know if that's going to be the thing that gets the job done over in Orlando. It could be. Magic fans, don't get mad at me, but I just don't know if that's going to be the quintessential star that you're needing to get to that next level. I mean, we've seen over the past few years, like the teams that win the championship, they either are led by a star guard or a big in Jokic. And I mean, Giannis is a big, but I don't know. Giannis is like, I don't know what category to put him in. I think he's just the Giannis category.
Yeah, I
Like,
think he does have his own category. Yeah.
there's not like I don't look at him as like a power forward or, I don't know. But honestly, I'm not super high on him, even though I was coming in to the season. OKC still going to win it all. Shai's going to win MVP.
Definitely.
Chet's going to win DPOY.
Could get a 6-man in there with AJ, but with
Hey.
J-Dub back, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, he hasn't
Kinda
been
ruined his
producing as
chances.
much as he was. Yeah, for sure. But unless you got anything else, I know we wanted to keep this one short. If you got anything, hit it.
I just hope we can beat the Spurs for once this season. I mean, I gotta say this: the fact that they beat us when Wemby played like 20 minutes, ridiculous.
They just don't
Should
turn
not
over
be
the
happening.
ball like we
Mhm.
need teams to, or not need,
Yeah.
but like where the
We're
Thunder
able to create some
excel the most
opportunities.
is, they go on their 12-0 runs because they force 2 to 3 turnovers during a 2-minute span. And that's where they break the game open. And the Spurs don't have anybody that turns the ball over like that. And then Keldon Johnson just decides to become freaking prime Klay Thompson every time we
Superman.
play him. I don't know. But just remember, back in 2019, the last year that we had Russ and PG, we swept the Trailblazers in the regular season, and then they whooped our tails in the playoffs. So, hey, we're thankful for Dame
Terrible
for doing that.
Terrible
Hey,
shot.
I would never shoot that shot in the game. But, hey, that's why we are where we are now. Thank you, Damian Lillard. Thank you, Paul George. But with that, this has been ASF Hoops on the All Sports Focus Network. We love you, and we're out. Peace.
Doses.